There's something just timeless about a fireplace, right? That cozy warmth, it's a classic. But what if we could take that classic idea and just make it, well, radically more efficient? Today, we're going to dig into an absolutely ingenious design that does exactly that. So let's explore how this G2 system could completely change the way we think about heating our homes. Seriously, think about it for a second. You've got this beautiful, roaring fire going, but how much of that heat are you actually feeling in the room? Well, the tough truth is, most of that amazing warmth is just gone. Straight up the chimney. We're about to see how one design aims to capture all that lost energy. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the core problem. Then we'll dive into the G2 system's framework, see how it actually captures that lost heat, then figure out how it maximizes that heat for your home. And finally, we'll watch the complete cycle in action. It's going to be great. Okay, so what's the fundamental challenge we're trying to solve here? Well, it all boils down to one simple but honestly massive inefficiency in a system we've used for centuries. That's the one. Your standard open fireplace, while it looks amazing, is a pretty terrible heater. It's just physics, right? Hot air rises, and it takes all that valuable thermal energy with it, right out of your house. The G2 system is designed from the ground up to grab that wasted heat and put it to work. So how do you even begin to fix a problem like that? Well, the answer starts with building a completely new structure, a kind of high-tech insert right inside the chimney itself. And this is just a perfect illustration of how the idea grew. Over on the left, you've got that initial concept sketch, the basic idea. But look at the right. That's the refined, engineered solution, a modular steel wireframe. And that word, modular, that is absolutely key to the whole thing. Yeah, this wireframe is the real backbone of the operation. See, it's not some clunky one-size-fits-all box. It's a customizable skeleton. That means the whole system can be scaled up or down to fit all sorts of different chimney heights and sizes, which makes it a much more practical solution for everyone. All right, now we get to the really good stuff, the heart of the machine. We've got the framework in place, so how does this G2 system actually trap all that escaping heat? This detailed drawing shows us exactly what's going on. It's this incredible network of copper tubes. And if you know anything about metals, you know copper is a fantastic conductor of heat. These tubes are basically the engine of the entire system. It's a beautifully simple process when you see it. Instead of the hot smoke just shooting straight up and out, it gets funneled through this winding pathway of copper. As it travels, that intense heat from the smoke gets absorbed right into the metal, effectively trapping that thermal energy before it has a chance to escape. But hey, capturing the heat? That's only half the battle. The next, and maybe most important step, is getting that heat out of the system and into your living space efficiently. And for this, the G2 system has a really clever two-part approach. Part 1 is all about defense. You can actually see it noted right here in the original sketch. It says, heat-reflecting silver 3-side plus 1 top walls. So this isn't just a box. It's an insulated chamber designed to keep the heat focused exactly where we want it. And these walls are absolutely critical. They stop the heat from just bleeding out and getting absorbed by the bricks of your chimney. That silver surface actively bounces radiant heat back towards those copper tubes, keeping the core of the system as hot as possible. And the little note there about it being drywall-backed, that just points to a simple, practical way to install the whole thing. Okay, so that was defense. Now for part 2 of the output system, the offense. This stone slab on the front, it isn't just there to look good. It's basically a thermal battery. So the slab just soaks up all that intense heat from the copper tubes and the reflective chamber behind it, and it stores that energy. Then, slowly and consistently, it radiates that warmth out into the room through those vents you see in the design. This creates a much more pleasant, even and lasting heat, totally different from the harsh, direct blast of an open fire. Okay, so let's put all of these pieces together. Let's trace the entire journey of energy from the moment the fire is lit all the way into your warm and cozy home. It's really just a beautiful, logical loop. The fire makes hot smoke, that smoke heats up the copper tubes, the reflective walls keep all that heat contained and focused, the stone slab soaks it up and then radiates it out. And then finally, and you can see this in the more detailed drawings, a small low-power fan gives it just enough of a push to pull the now much cooler exhaust safely up and out of the chimney. It's a complete, fully managed system.
And when you boil it all down, it really comes back to this simple, elegant description right from the original design notes. It just perfectly sums up the whole goal: a chimney-mounted, heat-trapping system. Doesn't get clearer than that.
So, this is about more than just one cool fireplace design, isn't it? It's about rethinking how we use and lose energy right in our own homes. And it really makes you wonder, what other everyday systems that we take for granted could be completely transformed with just a little bit of clever, focused engineering? What's next?